Ngaraki yapki tuga kachinam diyoga. Ngaralu totosunche pana po jabi kablu lasha sunsumiyul. Ngati nga chunguganlara atara gyasa ani semka jamare, ani beu jamare, ani khache mare. Je maso semka jara ja chu shuma genku bago cha shugo se. Te lochi sunindigi rangi semka lu chalam labi tu name mejil. Ngara la kachira beru ti tendibe bil. Tani ki kole ngara khatule dungre chilap gele. I want to talk about how my father raised me, the advice that I received. That would give you a lot of insight into the person that he's always been. Because this is the kind of advice that a father has given his own son. Ni katule tari dunsun chuni yul. Tamra dugishibagi kesa gyakabda misilu cha shura shugumare. Cha shui kaplu tesum meba cha shu. Madro mache. Nyanka kadiji teru, kau kadiji jeru. Gen sata ji chata yuru, wudu tangchi ni meong. Ngachara gyakab de misi. Lu cha di ben damsi pangchu tusho meba. Chara soe lu tangchu pe. Cha shura shugo. tusho wachin le bomsang. Charaki shuma ging badibe. Ngachara wanchu judingi gapsu zumbera. Cho tudibe cha shusubachin. Chugi pen tobachin. Chara chosang se. My father would always tell me, serve your country and our people. There is no greater calling in life. There is no better purpose. You must be willing to sacrifice everything. No matter where the journey takes you, you must show clarity, resolve, determination. Never give up. Never lose hope. This is non-negotiable. Never ever fail. Serve your country and peoples. Nibamdi, gyakab ki rawaranse de sungchobdi. Namme sametzachinil. Tanze tabgo. Tida tango. Sem payamasho. Papa chere tamadu drungtere kyong. Tamadu su chungui mese ko maja. Shuma ani tamadu chungulaka su bom tedibe nyanka kyong. Sego chungu chere temajubobe chashuose. Gyakab ki rawaranse de sungchubdi gonle gondu pewberazose. My father always reminded me that we must do everything to protect, enhance, and strengthen our security and sovereignty. He would say, don't even let a tiny crack appear, because these small problems one day turn out to be very dangerous. So always be vigilant. Sumamdi shabgi suniyul. Kesa Jekempo Jung Chasang Papa Gyende Ngachara Chede Kasulu Gade dada japchu lejimbe pyugo se. Ngachara du gekhab semidi. Sangi ki temba ki peyuli. Ugi gururumbuchi da ngawanam ki temba lu kyun bashi temachu. Nyensung be dibe, danzi tab dibe, chachi shu dibe. Shuma maung misi sulu dariwa tab zo dibe, chi supe bese. Ngache du se lapsu midira. Ngachara nana ki ishi semba di. Ani temba di yin se. So my father would say, always serve the Jekempo, our Jung Tatsang, and our different chedes, nangbigi chedesu. He would tell me that this forms the very fabric of who we are. This holds us together. This gives us the identity that we value. He said, remember that our Temba is the soul of Bhutan. Then Jibadi, ngachira dugi ngotadi danze tapse. Ngachira du gyakab di gyakab chungkulakani. Chimtsa gyakab jiwachi bombe. Zamling na lumi mambe. Terbum ge da gugi pana hubegale ngachira milope bum dun lama la chiligi temisube. Jamso bulu tama timnigi nyanka yuse. Du atara dub se lapsupe jago. Pigi mida rangimi yop chisupe jago. Ran dubi so the ngoshi pe ten supe zose. Shabki atara anisumil. That our identity is very precious. We live in a planet with 8 to 9 billion people. And these numbers are constantly expanding. There's so few of us. He told me that we must always remain recognizable, identifiable. But above all, my father would say that our people must treasure this identity. Our people are the true custodians of this identity. Lakpardu ngara yabki suni ngachera mise dinadini le ngachera alu pususugi dubigi lamlususulu zedung kyagose pango gadichi kachega hagogo chachidi ngachera misigira shugose di jungi chala mes suniyul. Den ngabadi ngara namra beru yapchashu zonga keji yugo ka sosusnala pa shabgi laga gyönde zonji ne za cheta tomkale pa beru chim sapji japsa zibajin shabgi atarasu chimgi zokesu danzi tabmares ngachira dubi lusere zotyong gose 내 자가 체트수 냠수치 주고배 다마 맵태옹세 리다셈지 라달룸 마 호카나기 장추르 베루 와 장토토 베자세 년숭 베세 된 유고날레 파기 가주 땀제땀 람루 다우 마두세 알루수기 셰입조세 소이 릭파 the zorik lasokpagi ngachara ngotasu danzin tabra tabse. So during our travels There's not a moment when my father isn't worried about the forest, our rivers, biodiversity, even down to dzongs and temples and nairs. He wanted to ensure that they were always well preserved, well maintained, and remain protected. Then Tubadi, Shabki Suniyul, Ngachira du Gyakha Gitopshukti, Chitunis. Our greatest strength is our unities. Gyakha Laluchina Zumbe, Mira Dimasu, Pada Tsu Roda Ngachese, Papa Chere Ja, Chichilu Sechap, Dutch Amchi Chile member Nanalera, Katan, Ngolo, Bejeto, Rotin Sumi Ngachito Misube, Kachishura Ngachira Chimchinagi Sasa Zumbe, Gyakapchi, Michi, Namra Beru Laptub Dube, La Beshe Bachin, Kage Lake Misu. Ngachira Gyakapta Madhu Kadichi Bomseguru, Setu, Miguel Kachi Tenduguru Dupsu, Sunil. If we remain united, there is nothing that we can overcome. Dani, Shabki Sumdi, Mara, Tu Atara, Semkajadol. Then Tunsun Dumbadi, Shabki Sunil. Nyam Gawiki Nyankas. La Lejum be Jodos no Banara. Miki Semki Lanshuis. Yamiteni Jews. Tanti Shuis. Kajambis. Lama Bewa Lunes. Mito Jankata be. Genku Mabableten Tushons. Digi Nyanka. Mache Dunankulu, Gasa, Shumachu Labi Kablu, Ani Rib Gimgomares. So, in other words, what my father was always warning us was that complacency sets in very quickly. We fall victim to distractions. We lose focus. We take things for granted. And that's when we neglect our fundamental responsibilities. Lochi shabki tisuni. Nyam gawi ki nyanka bomsho dera senpai shui mare. Mi lanshu te mare. Kajandi be liu be tama name same kingen bomtion. Rib gims. Tunsin Gebadi, Shabki Sunil. Do Gakab the Dindi Gobachin. Misera Dindi goes. For a strong Bhutan, we need strong people. The Aniliten di Bangachera Misisu. Nyamnyong Lejimbe top zose. Cho Yuntilu Zotense. Machera Misera Kade Tata Dindi Zogose. Misi Dindi Yubachin, Misiki Dobde, Misiki Genba, Misiki Chashu, Chala Kachira Zeguru. Machera Misi Chidani Membe, Chida Bumbe, Chikala Begalen, Machera Gyakab di Atu Diaches. Misi Dindi Zos, Anira Sumbil. Even when I was young, my father would say, read, Kesa, read. It's so important to read. Whenever you have free time, invest the time in readings. Guess one day, no matter what problem you might face, just know that there have been others before you who've lived through, who've taken the same journey, who's confronted with the same dilemmas. Know that they have that added wisdom. Know that they have the experience to share. If you want to solve problems, somebody has already solved it. But you have to be willing to invest that time. You have to be inquisitive enough and make the effort to learn. All that wisdom is contained in the pages of a book. So, Kesa, you must read. Dani peshal habni, yunte dubni. Kitab hani di, name same keche se. Machara misi dindi zogo, chere dindi tego se. Ani suni yul. Tenzun guba di, shabki suni yul. Alu lansho matan se. Alu su namra beru lejim da sobgi pana yo chisu pe zo se. Di cha se. Te khache shu dera alu su kadi samshe go se. My father would always say, don't spoil children. Teach them good values. Discipline is very important. And above all, his emphasis, as I recollect, was always on young children never to take anything for granted. He said, appreciation is a very good virtue to possess. Tenzin chutamdi. Gyakabgi mingtamdi tsachenis. The reputation of a country is sacrosanct. Shabgi suni gyakabgi mingtamdi kachisume tyong. Tama du gyakabgi mingtamdi ngachi kyasa chikebe. Shigi migi ngachi lutaudadi. Au ani dupsu yami, dupsu shoplabi, dup aukui, dup shungmi. Lo madiu chao mese ngachi lo te machuba jinse. Shabgi suni deba wachinti kyasa bombere kyedase. Namra beru du gyakab sodalu. Gyakab chungu lagachile mirura. Gyakab bomsugi. Ngachi lo te chupe zose. Dup semisu kadibiyu so wachin. Dup sem satang tayu, dup bejale, dup genku babi, dup khetang. Dani zumbe lapsupe zogo. My father would always say that the reputation of a country should be built. It should be earned. It should be nurtured. It should be reinforced. He said, don't ever rely on legacy. So, Kesa, during your time, make sure that Bhutan is always seen, understood, and respected as a dependable, as a righteous, truthful, and an honest country in the world. That we are above all trustworthy. Tensun chuchi di chabgi suniyul. Chandin chengi pinsum sobi mide se tebe nego bachin Jungjongi lamlu da timgi lamlu dira name same lejimbe go se ngachira choi ne tang di tab deto to gato to kara chamto to lo techu pe jago bachin Jungjongi lamlu the timgi lamlu di anira lejimbe go se. My father would tell me, for a just and harmonious society, you have to have a good system. And even more important, you must have very good laws. Anidi ngara atara semka tendibe labil. Tanjulu ngara yabgi sunsumi tekale ka cheshu chi densun chuni badil shabgi suniyul kesa hema jotube sen dari jomitu umena dari jotube sen shuma jomitu 저 제라 마소 야갑기 라베오들로 람츠시고 같이 벤나 남 벤나 가데베 벤나 아니수 랑기베라 레심베 여피디베 담가잡다. He used to always tell me, and I believe this is by far one of the most profound advice that I've ever received. He said, Gyasa, why do you think human beings have come this far? Why have humans been so competent, so resilient? He said, it's because human beings know how to evolve and adapt. And he said, take this lesson from Mother Nature. If our country is to remain strong and dynamic, well protected, if our collective vision is to build an even more prosperous Bhutan, we must learn how to constantly evolve, adapt, reinvent ourselves. Be agile. Anidi ngaragi jewda ben shabgi totosunche pana ngalu sure susuchubi dekale ta cheshuji ani jewmel. Da jutanjulu ngachira papa chere misisugi nosum tandong da lochugu girinlu dugi jibagi dugi akhabgi chala sulu zibda tuga kachinamdonga tusam kadebe jedonga ani jumadugi hema ngara khatule dungta chilapyal dugi jiba tu tage bombere jedimel tage kachibe majibal zamlingi netang judebe jodalu katira jeru name same nyankadul tab madyu thendesa cha phakachap zip suka pose labdu zumbe nachere du gyakhape thepchire rip gimgobe demtyonggobe 자기 랑곱둘 두기 집어 두 자기 bombe를 지디 인데르 베루 나라기 제일 샵기 셀레 순세 나라기 고일 샵남에 섬에 두 녀란데 베주일 my father's very proud of our people. He's particularly proud of our younger generation. The enthusiasm, the dynamism, the selflessness, the desire to make a difference. How deeply we care for each other, and even more, how much we care for our country. He sees how proud we are to call ourselves Bhutanese. He understands that we are willing to do everything to serve Bhutan, to protect Bhutan, to build Bhutan. Shabki zibala, kembala. Ngachira misegi debada megi. Ngachira misegi damsi. Ngachira misegi Kadichi, Lhasa Namdagi Tole, Cha Shuchope Yoga, Kawa Tape Shabgi Kensa, Zidol, Ani Bendigi, Shabgi Atara Summe, Tab Madu di Tion, Nyankadi Du, Zegope Lasha Tomme, Deboda, Ngachira Misigi, Gen Basube, Nachera Drug Yakablu Cha Shusube. The future is bright. Maungpadi Lejim Joni me, Namisame Lo de Nyerai Sunil. Dani di Mara Kokabzundube, Chelu, Labubes, no deredul.